Hi guys, so I decided to do a little bit of an experiment with this composition, and I tried out using a pen background as opposed to just sticking with the usual graphite. And so as you can see here, it is actually something that I'm fairly I feel very much of like a beginner in this stage, just because of the fact that it's so new to me, and just using pen on top of graphite and just thinking of all the times that I need to do all of this was quite nerve-wracking. But yeah, I was actually a little bit skeptical about the pens as well. I was using Staedtler and Copic pens around 0.05 and 0.03, and it turned out alright, but I don't know, I guess there's still a part of me that regretted this decision. But yeah, it was something that very refreshing, something new, just something to try out. And like I said, this is an experiment of mixed medium, and so I decided to just go for it. I wanted to capture that kind of like anime look, but also still a little bit fantastical and whatnot, if that's even a word. Anyway, I started mixing my watercolors in this end, and I was actually watching a YouTube video. I'll try to link down the video as soon as I find it, but it was about skin color, and I decided to play around with just creating that kind of very lucent look, as if it's just very opaque and whatnot. So I was playing around with red and blue tones, but it didn't really work out for me. So you'll see a little bit later how I kind of mended that decision and just tried to cover it up, I guess. But yeah, so far here it was working, but it wasn't necessarily working for the look that I wanted to go for. I wanted her to look very kind of scary, but not really. Did I want it to look scary? Not really. I didn't want her to look scary, but I wanted her to look some kind of like a fantasy in an essence. And I guess it worked out in the end, because of the fact that having that kind of blue undertone underneath on top of the actual skin color really worked out, and I was pretty happy with the end product of the skin and how all the shadows worked together. And yeah, that was a pretty cool experiment, and I decided to do a little bit of blue color for the eyes as well. So after a few hours of just like waiting for them to dry, I moved forward in using kind of the watercolor pencils. But when I started using it, as you can see from the video a while ago, it didn't really work out for me because of the fact that it's very strong, and I didn't want the illustration to be strong. I wanted it to be soft, and so I just chucked that idea out and just stuck with watercolor just to give that kind of end look that I wanted anyway. So yeah, no more watercolor pencils for me for quite a while, just because of that. But I'm pretty sure I'm going to be studying that medium really soon, and you might see a video about it as well. But at the moment, we're just sticking to watercolor and pens and just making it all work. It was a lot of layering, which I loved for some weird reason. It was really fun for me to just kind of layer colors on top of each other, but I wasn't quite happy with just using one color. So I experimented a little bit with like mixing up colors. Of course, as you can see, the real world anyway, it's not all green, it's not all, you know, red. There's always a tint of yellow, there's always a tint of blue, there's always a tint of green or something in the middle. So that's what I was going for, and that's what I wanted. That's kind of like an in-between of reality and a dream. And yeah, so far, as you can see in the video, it was quite a struggle just mixing all these colors together. I think one of the biggest things that I would definitely advise people who would like to just do compositions is have references. I personally did not have reference when I was doing this. It was just all in my head and just sticking to whatever. And yeah, luckily it turned out the way I wanted it to, but it took a while to get there, and there are still quite a few misses in this illustration that I would like to, what's that word, kind of like correct after a while. That wasn't the word that I was looking for. It was actually an R something, but I will write it down below when I remember. So this part with the butterflies is actually going to be funny because I started out with those colors and I was just not happy with it. So it was wrong. It was all wrong. It didn't look like a butterfly for me. So I just started putting colors on top of them to make it look more translucent and more like an actual butterfly, and it ended up looking like an actual butterfly, but not the colors of the butterflies that I actually wanted. And so yeah, that wasn't something that I intended to do. So with this one, I wasn't initially planning to do a background, but I think this was just me free falling already, and so I decided, hey, why not put in the other aspects of watercolor. And so this is what happened. Oh my gosh, so this part right here is basically me trying to incorporate grass. So I wanted to put like grass on top of her head to make it look like antlers, but also nature and connected to obviously what's going on all around her. But I ended up thinking, oh, maybe it's much better as hair, and then chucking all that idea out because it did not look good. I wasn't too happy about how it turned out, so I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna change that because it doesn't look nice for me. And so I experimented on using a little bit more green into this and just really playing with the water, as you can see. But yeah, so that's how it ended. And that's how it looks like. In hindsight, I would say I hoped I did not make any background, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed a little bit of a paint with me session. Let me know if you like this kind of videos, give me a thumbs up, and yeah, I'll see you guys on my next video. Thank you for watching. Bye.